Hello everyone, welcome back to Royalty Soaps. Today I am doing something a little bit different and I am bringing you guys into the behind the scenes of soap making preparation. Now every soap maker is going to do this step a little bit differently, so I'm just sharing what personally works for me, and hopefully if you are a budding soap maker or even if you've been making soap for some time, there is something in this section that you can glean that will help you have a more successful soap making day. Before you get all of your raw materials, ingredients, lye water solution, etc., you need some sort of a plan. You need your soap making recipe. You need to know what fragrance oil you're going to be using, and quite frankly, it would be best, in my opinion, if you had a design pre-printed or drawn on a piece of paper, so you kind of know what direction you're going in. Now here at Royalty Soaps, you know I'm making soap to sell, so obviously I have that step done. So here is my soap design for today. This is called Mist. And on the back of this, I have a design submission form already pre-filled out 2 months in advance of me making this soap. That's how far I'm working back. This tells me what glitter I'm going to use, how much color I'm going to use, what fragrance oil I'm going to use. And while some of these are best guesses because I am making the soap for the first time today, and I do reserve the right to tweak everything by 5 to 10 grams when it comes to colorants, I still know exactly which ones I'm going to use, and they are all on the table. I also have PPE on, as you can see. Lye water solution is not out yet, but I am going to be mixing up some fragrance oil, etc., so might as well be in my cool gear. I also have my laptop so that I can write my soap making recipe and write down the exact amount of every single ingredient we're putting in the batch. Why? Because we need to be able to recreate this over and over and over again exactly how I made it here. Got my recipe, got my station, and it always looks this messy. I actually have a teeny tiny little table, okay? Looks great in the camera, not actually that practical for prep. I'm gonna go ahead and put my goggles on because there's no reason not to. I have my gloves here. I love these gloves. I will leave you guys links to the materials that I'm using today, any of my pictures, my little scale that I use, anything that I can help you out with, I'll leave you down in the description box below. Great. Now, the first thing I personally like to measure out is my fragrance oil. Today we are using Mountain Mist by Candle Science. I'm not mixing this with anything. It's the full 16 ounces in the size batch that I'm creating. The other thing that I'm going to be adding is kaolin clay. I add this to every single batch. It really helps anchor my fragrance oil and adds a very nice slip to my soap batter. Now, how much kaolin clay you want to add and what time you want to add it in is up to every individual soap maker, but I like adding approximately 40 grams or so to a 25-pound batch. And again, everything is measured in grams. Do not measure in teaspoons and tablespoons. Your tablespoon and my tablespoon are two different things depending on how we fill them. Grams are the same universally. Great, I've got the kaolin clay in. Now I can go ahead and add my fragrance oil, which, by the way, smells incredible. Y'all are gonna love this. Glub, glub, glub. And you know what I keep under my table? A trash can. Right, now this is a 5-layer soap. Why do I do this to myself? Because it looks good, that's why. So I've got my 5 white pitchers. I already know that this amount of batter will fit perfectly into these white pitchers. I've done it a million times. Also, I'm not using a traditional glitter for this soap. I'm using Blue Moon. This is from Mad Micah's. We're gonna sprinkle it on top. But you know what else you have to measure? Your glitter. Because if you're making multiple batches, you need to make sure you buy enough glitter to get all of them. I find that it is typically 0.5 gram to 2 grams per batch, okay? 0.5 gram to 2 grams will get you about 50 to 60 bars, give or take. Awesome! 1 gram of glitter off to the side, writing it down on my computer. 1 gram Blue Moon mica on top of each slab. Perfect. And now for the hardest part of the whole prep stage, getting the colorants measured out and making an educated guess on how much I'm gonna need for each one. This is going to take a while, so enjoy the montage. right, all 5 colors have now successfully been measured and recorded, so I can shut the laptop and get it out of the way. And I can also remove all of the colorant containers. Now, I'm gonna take them off the table, but I'm still gonna keep them close because I may need them if I need to add a little more something. So I like to just put them on this shelf behind me so I can grab them if I need them. But also I need the table room, so get out the way. Nothing else to measure. And then of course I wash all my measuring spoons between batches, but I also always mix up all of my colorants besides the one that are water soluble and not oil soluble, i.e. titanium dioxide. You can get oil soluble titanium dioxide, but I don't think it works as well. And then all the micas end up getting pre-blended with some of my base oils. I don't like adding in extra oils because that messes with my Superfat. I like my Superfat at 5%, and if I took extra oil outside of this batch and added it in, it would increase the Superfat to be higher, and I don't prefer the feeling of that. So I'll take some of this, I'll add it into each one of those, I'll mix it up really good so that we don't end up with a bunch of mica particles that haven't been incorporated in cut bars. It just ends up looking speckledy. That's not my style. I will add a different amount of oil depending on how much colorant I have in the jar. Most of the time, a tablespoon will do it. Some micas are denser than other micas and they need a little bit more. Some are fluffier, they need a little bit less. It just kind of depends. You get good at eyeballing this kind of thing when you've done it this long. My key here is simply not adding in oils that you haven't accounted for in your recipe. Great, oil is in, so now I can blend with my Bunsen Kitchen Mini Mixer, which I think is just a milk frother. We have found one that's better than this, but it's more expensive, so I keep using this one. Blend, baby, blend. Now you may be asking me, Katie, why didn't you label those cups? How are you gonna know which one is which? Well, I put my cups in the exact same order every single time. I have an SOP for cup placement. My first cup goes in this corner and we don't change it. However, that is not what I recommend doing. I actually do recommend taking a Sharpie, marking all of your colorant containers with the name of the color and exactly how much is in it. I know that's an extra step, but again, if you are having to make multiple batches, 5 to 20, I mean even up to 40 batches of something, you want it to be consistent. And the more guesswork you take out of the procedure, the more likely you are to have consistency in your batches. So no, I don't mark these first colorant containers, but every single batch, literally every single batch that I don't make on camera, that we make at our fulfillment center, every single one of those, every single container is marked. I highly recommend doing that. You just don't know how easy it is to switch up a colorant container until you flop a whole batch because of it, and that is money down the drain. All right, colorants mixed. Everything looks great. I'm gonna go get my hot water for the titanium dioxide. I'm gonna move some of these items off to the side, wipe down my entire making station with a Clorox wipe, and then some rubbing alcohol, and we're ready to make this batch. Thanks for prepping with me. Hey there, small biz owners. I think we all have a wish list for our business, whether it is new equipment that we're going to be using for weighing our products or shipping our products, or new inventory software, whatever it might be. I have something that you need to add to your holiday wish list, and that is a stamps.com account. I cannot talk about stamps.com enough. I continue to do sponsorship and collaborations with them because you guys sign up with the link every single time, and then people come into my DMs and they're like, you save me so much money. And it's just something that I truly so passionately believe in because I have been using them for 5+ years. They save me a bundle on shipping costs. No more lines, no more waiting, no more holiday shipping stress, okay? Nothing is worse than going to the post office in December. Do not do that to yourself. And if you're a seller in an online marketplace like me, I use Shopify. Stamps.com seamlessly integrates with every major online marketplace. And premium discounts and shipping supplies are literally right at your fingertips. So if you happen to run out of anything like shipping and mailing supplies, like labels, even printers, you can literally just purchase those from the stamps.com supply store. Also, you get huge carrier discounts from people like UPS and USPS. Plus, stamps.com automatically suggests your cheapest and fastest shipping options, so you're not having to weed through a whole bunch trying to to find the best deal. They'll put it at the top for you. So give your business the gift of stamps.com this year, okay? Don't wait any longer. Sign up at stamps.com/royaltysoaps for a special offer that includes a 4-week free trial. So hey, this is gonna be good for like all your December shipping, okay? Try it out through your holiday season, see how it works. You also get free postage and a free digital scale, okay? So use the link because freebies is goodies. Once again, that is stamps.com/royaltysoaps. It is on the screen now, stamps.com/royaltysoaps. I'll leave you a link in the description box. Also, there are no long-term commitments or contracts, which is nice to know up front. Happy shipping, and thanks again to stamps.com for sponsoring today's video. All right, our oils have been warmed to about 85 degrees Fahrenheit. Gonna mix them up real quick. Using both hands, I'm going to pour my lye water solution in, and we're gonna blend. All right, let's go ahead and split our batter into 5 equal portions. I have all of my buckets here completely sectioned out and ready to work with. So I have re-whisked my fragrance and kaolin blend, and I'm gonna add the proper amount to 1 single container because I've never used this fragrance before with my recipe. This is gonna be my test bucket so that I know how it's going to behave. Now right here are the notes from Candle Science about how this particular fragrance oil performs in cold process, but their recipe is different than mine. So what worked for them may not work for me. That's why we're gonna test it. Some people would test their fragrance in a smaller batch, but I like to live dangerously. Gonna pour our first color in here. This is a mix of Steelworks and Peacock Blue. Those are both from Mad Micas. They have beautiful micas. Candle Science actually has partnered with Mad Micas, so they carry their micas. If you're a candle or soap maker that likes the Candle Science store, they have Mad Micas now. Mad Micas are ethically sourced, and I am an affiliate, so woohoo! I get a little commission if you buy with my link. Let's add our fragrance to this one. All right, I'm gonna move these off to the side. I'm gonna put some on the other table, and let's blend up this first layer on low. Okay, this performs absolutely beautifully. A big thumbs up from me. And hey, if you don't want to wipe down in between every single layer, here's what I do. I tap down as much as I can off my stick blender head, but then instead of putting it in a separate container so that this is exposed to the air and gets a little bit crusty and then it could like leave little chunks in your next layer, I just put it straight into the next layer so that it's never exposed that long to air and it can't get that weird crust on it. Let's pour this in our mold. All right, so this is my custom mold from Workshop Heritage. I'm just gonna get my whole layer in here. Plenty of beautiful working time. Look at the texture on that. And the color, perfect. It's a blue-gray, and that's exactly what I wanted. Gorgeous. I don't know if I wanna texture it or just leave it as is. I'll give it a little texture, nothing much. The fragrance, the name being Mist, I feel like Mist isn't, you know, a straight line. It isn't geometrical. It's like wispy. It's whimsy. So we're gonna do less harshness, more whimsy for this. That's what makes sense to me anyway. Set this on the table off to the side. Mix up the next layer. This is just a straight gray layer, no blue. Blend this up. Gorgeous. Let's pour this in. Now you may not be able to tell the difference here, but I promise you there is one. Gonna break the fall and gently pour this next layer over the first one. I shook down this layer a bit. It's setting up very nicely. Again, just going to texture this little layer, and I am going to continue this for all 5 layers. Now, in between layer 4 and 5, we're going to add a little bit of a mica line, but because we have chit-chatted for a good majority of this video, you guys get the gist. Enjoy the pretty music. Okay, check it out. This color and this color are looking really similar. I'm pleased. I made these tidy little lines to mark where each one of the soap loaves are going to be so that I can cut right dead center, and so that whenever I'm making this lovely little pattern, I'm not gonna leak over into the other bars. Just trying to mash it all to the middle here. This is such an easy technique, but whenever you have this many bars in a batch, it's a very effective way to create something really beautiful on the top. Gorgeous. Now I'm gonna do a little something extra to the top. Just a little swirl down the middle. Again, think misty. We're going for something swirly, twirly, whimsical. And this is such a lovely texture for swirling. Gorgeous. And now taking a little makeup brush that I use exclusively for soap making, I'm gonna put some of that Blue Moon mica right down the middle. This mica does look white, but it has like this blue undertone to it. It's a bit hard to describe. Okay, admittedly, this took a little longer than normal, but that looks really good. Now I'm going to spritz the top with rubbing alcohol. If I can find it. Oh, here it is. And watch what this Blue Moon mica does. I'll bring y'all in a little closer so that you can see. Do you see that blue shimmer? Oh, please. It's so pretty. Just gonna seal that all in, and we can put our little misty soap to bed. And we're gonna wait 18 to 24 hours before I come back and I split this slab into loaves and cut the loaves into bars after this quick commercial break. Okay, folksies, this is what it looks like the next day. So what I'm saying is it color morphed and it did not go back. Also, you like my nails? I did them myself using products from Amazon because I am too lazy to go into the nail salon and get them done. Links below for the colors. Is that what I am? I'm an influencer now. Anyway, as you can see here, everything went a very green color. Now, I wanted this to be a little bit more blue, but because the fragrance is so good, because the fragrance I feel encapsulates exactly what I wanted this soap to be, I'm not gonna change the fragrance. I'm just gonna have to work with its yellowing tendencies. So these are gonna be slightly different in the future, but I actually do like the way that all the colors have been broken up. And that little mica line turned out really well. Here is what our soap looks like on the inside. Again, very distinct coloring here. Did its little paranormal color morph and did not return to its original color. Wham, wham. Good thing is, it smells incredible. I do think it still portrays what I want it to. I am just gonna embrace it and clean it up a little bit in future batches so that these two layers specifically lean a little more blue and a little less yellow. The Starlight collection launches on January 6th. I know this is one that's going to be of general interest because I let you guys vote on which collection you wanted, and this one won by a landslide. So I would recommend going ahead and setting an alarm for it. This collection will be slightly more limited than past collections because it's the first one after the holidays. Look how pretty that is. That is just so pretty. Question of the day. Do you prefer a clear, cool morning or sort of a misty, rainy, dreary morning? Let me know down in the comments below. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video and the first installment in our Starlight soap collection. And be sure to give me some feedback about whether or not you enjoyed the beginning of this video where I sort of ran you through all of my prep stuff, because obviously, like I said, that was new and I don't want to do things that you guys think are boring. Be sure you do something fun for yourself today, like taking a break from your holiday shopping to just be at peace, read a little book, and stop thinking about that. Me needing to take my own advice. Or maybe you want to do a little Christmas craft. I recently saw a gal on YouTube who makes little miniature polymer clay items that she then puts in a little mini box. And she does one for like every single day of December. So it's going to be like a holiday themed mini box. It's so cute. And I was like, maybe I should do that, but like with my own craft stuff, because I do not need to get into another craft. I don't really care what you do. Just do something for you. And I'll see you all in the next video. So until then, bye for now. Yeah.